Hello students, in today's lecture we will solve some questions based on electric charges and fields, and this is CBSE previous year questions. Disclaimer: the images, text and other materials used in our presentations are for educational purposes only. We respect the intellectual property rights of the original creators and owners. If you are the owner and have any concerns or issues, please contact us at sathi@iitk.ac.in and we shall remove the content immediately. Please note that parts of the content may have been generated using generative AI, which is experimental. So, our question is: an electric field is uniform and acts along x direction in the region of positive x. It is also uniform with the same magnitude, but direction is opposite, or we can say minus x direction in the region of negative x. The value of electric field is E is equal to 200 Newton per Coulomb for x greater than 0, or we can say x is positive, and the value of E is equal to minus 200 Newton per Coulomb for x is less than 0. So there is a two value of E along x axis and along minus x axis. A right circular cylinder of length 20 centimeter and the radius of the cylinder is 5 centimeter has its center at the origin and its axis along x axis, so that one flat face is at x is equal to 10 centimeter and other is at x is equal to minus 10 centimeter. You have to find out the question. A is the net outward flux through the cylinder, and B is net charge present inside the cylinder. So in first we have to calculate the outward flux, and in second we have to calculate the net charge present in cylinder. So think about this question. So solution. So according to question, look at figure. A circular cylinder of length 20 centimeter. The center of cylinder, if we talk about the LHS left hand side to center of the second circular phase, or we can say RHS side, total length is 20 centimeter according to question. Now the value of E is equal to 200 Newton per Coulomb for x is equal to greater than 0, means from origin to towards positive x axis, and E is equal to minus 200 Newton per Coulomb for x is less than 0, it means negative x axis. So we have to find out the outward flux. So first we calculate the flux through left phase. So the formula of the electric flux is E dot delta S. This one, E dot delta S. Here E is a electric field, delta S is area. Now according to question, the value of E, if we talk about for x is equal to greater than 0, is 200 Newton per Coulomb for along positive x axis. So here positive x axis means x is greater than 0 and negative x axis means x is less than 0. So if we talk about the along negative x axis, so the value of is along minus x-axis. So it will be minus 200. The value of E is 200. So there is a direction is along minus x-axis, so minus sign, and delta S. Now substitute the value 200. Here delta S is negative because the direction of area element is perpendicular to the shape of the circular ring. Suppose we have this one. If we talk about the left phase, so from here the area element is perpendicular to left shape of the cylinder. So this is also along negative x-axis. That's why area is equal to minus delta S. Delta S. So 200 into delta S is pi r square. Pi, the value of r is this one. Radius is given 5 centimeter. So it will be 0.05 square. Now when we solving this term, you will be get the flux through left phase of the cylinder, or we can say left circular phase of the cylinder is 1.57 Newton meter square per coulomb. Second, we will calculate flux through right phase. Look at here. So flux through right phase is this one, and direction of electric field is along positive x-axis, and direction of area element is also perpendicular to the circular shape. So n cap. It means the direction of both electric field and area element both are parallel. So the flux through right phase is E dot delta S. Yes or no? So flux through right phase is E dot delta S. So solving this term, you will be get E delta S cos theta. Here theta is 0 degree. Why? Because the direction of electric field is along x-axis. Direction of area element is along x-axis to positive side. This one, because area element is perpendicular here. So both are parallel. Parallel means theta is equal to 0 degree. So cos 0, 1. So it become E delta S. Or we know value of S is what? Value of delta S is pi r square, and value of E is given. If we talk about the along positive x-axis, that is 200 Newton per coulomb. So just substitute the value, you will be get the flux through right circular ring. There is a two circular ring, right circular ring and left circular ring. So through the right circular phase, the value of electric flux is 1.57 Newton meter square per coulomb. For any point on the side of the cylinder, E is perpendicular to delta S. If we talk about the right circular phase, the electric field is perpendicular to surface. If we talk about the left phase, electric field is perpendicular to the surface. Now if we talk about the curved surface, so it is also perpendicular to the surface, curved surface. It means delta S, here delta S and the electric field both are perpendicular, because from the origin the direction of electric field along positive x-axis. So delta S and E is both are perpendicular, so that angle is 90 degree. So the formula of flux is phi is equal to E dot ds. E dot ds. And ds, solving this dot product, you will be get E ds cos theta. So here theta is what? 90 degree, cos 90, 0. Therefore E dot ds equal to 0. Therefore flux out of the side of the cylinder is 0. Means from the curved surface of the cylinder, from this curved surface of the cylinder, the flux out is 0. I hope this is clear. So phi from the flux from the curved surface is 0. Now we know flux through right phase, we know flux through left phase, we know flux through curved surface. then what will be the net flux through this given system? What will be the net flux? The flux through right phase plus flux through left phase plus flux through curved surface. So, net outward flux through the cylinder is this one. Look at here. 1.54, 1.57 plus 1.57, because the magnitude of flux through left phase and through right phase both are the same, and the magnitude of electric flux through the curved surface is 0, because electric field and area element both are perpendicular, so it will be 0. So net outward flux is 3.14 Newton meter square per coulomb. So this is the net flux. Second is, what will be the net charge within the cylinder? So according to Gauss theorem, you know what is Gauss theorem? Total flux enclosed by the closed charge divided by epsilon naught. It means total, we have to find out the Q. Q enclosed. So here we have to find out the Q. So Q is what? Phi into epsilon naught. So value of phi means net outward flux is 3.14 into the value of epsilon naught is this one, 8.854 into 10 raised to the power minus 12 coulomb. So solving this, you will be get the total enclosed charge within the cylinder. Clear? So this is comes from Gauss law. So net charge present in the cylinder is this one. This value is the net charge. From given a uniform electric field, E is equal to 5 into 10 raised to the power 3 I cap Newton per coulomb. It means here the value of E is given. Find the flux of this field through a square of 10 centimeter on a side whose plane is parallel to YZ plane. So here shape is given, that is square shape, and the value of electric field is also given. What could be the flux through the same square if the plane angle if plane makes 30-degree angle with x-axis? So here we have to find out the flux. How we can calculate? Think about it. So to calculate the flux through a surface is given by this one, phi equal to E dot ds, where E is electric field, ds is area element. So here square, the shape is given, that is square. So what is the area of square? Side into side. So area is equal to 0.1 into 0.1 is equal to 0.01 meter square. It means phi equal to EDS cos 90. Why 90? Because here in this question given that value of E is given, or saying that it is parallel to YZ plane. It means theta is here we 90 degree. So substitute the value 5 into 10 raised to the power 3 into 0.01. So solving this, you will be get phi equal to 50 Newton meter square per coulomb. Now when the square makes an angle 30 degree, when square makes angle 30 degree with x-axis, in that case angle made by the normal with electric field is 90 minus 30, that is 60 degree. So here phi equal to E ds cos 60. So substitute the value of E, value of S. So value of S is 0.01 meter square. Value of E is, we already know, that is given in this question. So and cos 60. So phi equal to 25 Newton meter square per coulomb. Clear? So this is the net flux. If you have any doubt, please ask. An isolated point charge particle produces an electric field E at a point 3 meter away from it. The distance of point at which the field is E by 4 will be what? So here you have to find out the distance of the point. The given options: option A is 2 meter, option B 3 meter, option C 4 meter, and option D 6 meter. So which one is correct? Think about this question. So correct answer is D, 6 meter. Solution: we know the value of E is equal to KQ divided by R square, where K is proportionality constant. So according to question, here the field is E by 4. So now substitute the given value for the first equation. So electric field E at a point 3 meter away from it. So it means R is 3 meter. So substitute the value of R, you will be get KQ, the square of 3 is 9. So it become KQ divided by 9. Now second condition, here the electric field is become E by 4. E by 4. So E by 4. So just substitute the value of E, this one. So E is KQ divided by 9 into 4. So now where E is what? KQ by R square from the formula. So KQ by R square is equal to KQ divided by 36. So R square is equal to 36. So R equal to 6. So here we have to find out the R. So R is 36. Which statement is true for Gauss's law? So there is a sum statement. Option A is all the charges, whether inside or outside the Gaussian surface, contribute to electric flux. Option B, electric flux depends upon the geometry of the Gaussian surface. Option C, Gauss's theorem can be applied to non-uniform electric field. And option D, the electric field over the Gaussian surface remains continuous and uniform at every point. So which one is correct? According to Gauss's law. Think about it. So correct answer is D. The electric field over the Gaussian surface remains continuous and uniform at every point. Solution: the electric field over the Gaussian surface remains continuous and uniform at every point. Why? So from Gauss's law of electrostatics, we know that only charges contained within the Gaussian surface contribute to flux, where the Gauss law is phi equal to Q enclosed divided by epsilon naught, means total charge enclosed by the closed surface divided by epsilon naught. So according to Gauss theorem, there is only enclosed charges responsible for the flux. Also we know The electric flux depends only on the total charge and nature of medium and has nothing to do with geometry. It means flux depends on only on charge. It does not depend on geometry. Furthermore, Gauss's theorem is applicable to the case of uniform electric field, as that will allow the formation of symmetrical Gaussian surface. So D option is correct. A hollow cylinder box of length 1 meter and area of cross section is 25 centimeter square is placed in a three-dimensional coordinate system as shown in the figure. Look at the figure. This is the three-dimensional coordinate system: x-axis, y-axis and z-axis, and the origin is O. The electric field in the region is given by E is equal to 50 x I cap, where E is in Newton per Coulomb, x is in meter. So here we have to find out the first is net flux through the cylinder, and option B, charge enclosed by the cylinder. Think about this question. So solution: according to given diagram in this question, the electric field is along x-axis. 50 x I cap means the direction of electric field is along x-axis. Now delta S is 25 centimeter square. It is also given. This one, cross section area is 25 centimeter square. So it will be what in meter square? 25 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 meter square. So as the electric field is only along the x-axis according to question, so flux will pass only through the cross section of cylinder. Magnitude of electric field at cross section A, look at here, cross section A at this point, EA is equal to 50 into 1. So that is 50 Newton per Coulomb. So magnitude of electric field at cross section B at this point is corresponding electric fluxes are this one, EA dot delta S. So if we talk about the at A point, so it will be 50 into delta S. Delta S is 25 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 and the angle is 180 degree. Because the direction of electric field is along positive x-axis and the area vector is along negative x-axis, or we can say opposite of the electric field. So both are anti-parallel. So cos 180 degree. Cos 180 is minus 1. So it will be minus 0.125 Newton meter square per Coulomb. Now flux through B phase, or we can say at B from B point. So EB delta S 100 into 25 into 10 raised to the power minus 4 cos 0 degree. So solving this, here why cos 0 degree? Because the direction of electric field and area vector both are parallel. So theta should be 0 degree. It means cos 0 1. So answer is 0.25 Newton meter square per Coulomb. So flux through B phase is this one. So the net flux through the cylinder is phi A plus phi V is equal to minus 0.125 plus 0.25. So overall is 0.1 Newton meter square per Coulomb. So by using Gauss's law, that is closed integration E dot ds is equal to q divided by epsilon naught, or we can say closed integration E dot ds is equal to phi. So here The flux is 0.1. The value of Q is, we have to find, and epsilon naught is 8.85 into 10 raised to the power minus 12. So solving this, you will be get Q is equal to 0.885 into 10 raised to the power minus 12 coulomb. So this is the value of charge that is asked in option second case. Charge enclosed by the cylinder is this one. Clear? The magnitude of electric field due to a point charge 2q at distance r is E. Then the magnitude of electric field due to a uniformly charged thin spherical cell of radius r with total charge q at a distance r by 2, where r is greater than radius, will be what? The given options: option A is E by 4, option B 0, option C 2E, and option D 4E. So which one is correct? Please think about this question. So correct answer is C, 2E. Solution: we know that the given terms, that is point charge 2q due to, and distance is r. So due to point charge 2q at a distance r, the value of electric field is, we can calculate E is equal to, from this formula, E is equal to kq divided by r square. So just substitute the value of q. So here q is, suppose this is q prime. So here q prime is 2q and the radius is r, distance is r, Now here after substitution the value, you will be get k 2q divided by r square from the formula of electric field. The formula of electric field is what? Kq divided by r square. Here q is equal to 2q. So just substitute, you will be get the value of E, that is k. E is equal to k 2q divided by r square, and let this is equation second and this is equation first. So according to question, the charge is here equal, so and radius is r by 2. So the value of E, new electric field, is kq divided by r by 2 whole square. So it will be what? E prime is equal to k. So it will be r square and 4. So 4 goes to numerator. So k 4q divided by r square. So solving this, you will be get 2k 2q divided by r square. So 2q divided by r square is equal to what? This one. 2 2kq divided by r square is what? E. So here 2 into E. So this comes from equation second. So E is equal to, E prime is equal to 2E. This is the magnitude of electric field due to uniformly spherical cell radius r. And the condition is this one. Two identical conducting balls A and B have charges minus q and plus 3q respectively. They are brought in contact with each other, then separated by a distance d apart. Find the nature of the Coulomb's force between them. So here you have to find out the nature of the Coulomb's force between the charges. Think about this question. So solution: The force between them is repulsive in nature. Why? As two balls, according to question, two balls are brought in contact with each other. They exchange their charges till they both attain the same charge, which is minus q plus 3q divided by 2. So total charge is become q. So since both acquire the same charge plus q, hence they repel to each other. The nature is repulsive. So 3 charges plus q minus q and q naught are placed as shown in the figure. Look at figure. The magnitude of the net force on the charge q naught, at a point O is what? So here you have to find out the magnitude of net force. Given options, option A is 0, option B 2k q naught divided by a square, option C root 2k q naught divided by a square, and option D 1 divided by root 2 k q naught divided by a square. So which one is correct? Think about this question. So correct answer is C. Solution: force on q naught due to there are two charges minus q and plus q. So due to plus q charge on q naught is this one. F1 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q naught q divided by a square. A is the distance from the O to charge q, and here the nature of the direction is both are positive. If both are positive, the direction is in this direction. So minus I cap, field force on charge q naught due to q is this one. So force on q naught due to minus q, that is F2 is equal to 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by a square j cap here. So this is the force due to minus q charge. Now net force on q naught is what? So F1 plus F2, yes or no? So just substitute the value of F1 and take the common magnitudes. The common magnitude is 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by a square minus I cap plus j cap. So this is the net force, and the magnitude of the net force is root 2 1 upon 4 pi epsilon naught q divided by a square is equal to under root 2 k q naught q divided by a square. So this is the net force. Beams of electrons and protons move parallel to each other. Listen carefully. Beams of electrons and protons move parallel to each other in the same direction. They, option A, attract each other, option B, repel each other, option C, neither attract nor repel, and option D, force of attraction or repulsion depends upon the speed of beams. So which one is correct? Please solve this question. So correct option is B, repel each other. Solution: electrons are negatively charged and protons are positively charged. The charge on electron are minus and charge on proton is plus. Hence, the currents carried by them are in opposite direction. Hence, they will repel each other. Thank you for your attention.